In today's class about British culture.
Okay.
The title of this video that I watched before was, do British people tell where they come from, what class they come from, judging by what kind of accents they have? So I came across this video and thought to myself, it'd be very great to discuss it with Ben when I have a class with him.
Okay.
While watching the video, I organized a few thinking points and just some ideas that I believe are worth our discussion and attention. I will tell you some stories from the video with the relevant questions, okay? One of the hosts said that there are apparently dozens of accents that exist in the UK. And as far as I understand from the video, the major accents include RP, is it correct? Received pronunciation or something? What else there? Cockney. Did I pronounce it well? Cockney.
Yeah.
Spoken by east part of London people. And Cambridge. No, Cambridge is the most typical modern London accent. Is it correct?
I guess so. I don't know. I've never been to Cambridge. But
UK accent that I am most familiar with is probably RC accent. Because they said RC is the easiest one for people, including non-native speakers, to understand because it sounds clearer than any other accents in the UK. It turns out BBC News anchors also have mostly RP, not RC. I was wondering, from your point of view, what do you think is the most popular common accent in the UK?
the most popular.
Yes. Or the accent that the majority of people in the UK have.
Okay, so RP. I'm from the south, and in the south, the RP is by far the most commonly heard accent. Most people, especially where I'm from, have RP accent.
So you have RP accent.
I guess I would be classed as RP. Yeah. In terms of popular, there are many. You know, it's very subjective what people like or don't like.
Yes.
But in terms of Great Britain as a whole, I know that the Welsh accent is really loved, and also Irish accent is loved.
Irish accent.
And then in terms of the mainland England, maybe people are fond of like the Brummie accent. And
Brummie
stuff
accent.
Like especially.
Brummie accent. I've never heard of that before. Could you mimic the...
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
Very sorry to ask you that.
No, that's okay. But have you ever heard of, what's the TV show? A very popular TV show?
Just watched only a few TV shows, and mostly from probably America. Do you know Conor McGregor?
Sure.
He's from, what is the name of the region? You just told me that.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I hear Conor McGregor speaking, I thought he spoke another language. Very hard to understand, barely understood.
Right. He does have a strong accent, I agree with you. And maybe when he drinks, he becomes even more pronounced. But Brummie is the accent that's in Peaky Blinders. Have you ever?
Peaky Blinders, no, unfamiliar.
It's a TV show, Netflix TV show. It's kind of...
I know that guy.
Yeah,
I recognize him.
Cillian Murphy. It's a hugely popular Netflix series about a criminal gang in Birmingham, which is where the Brummie accent.
And there's another question related to the story that I just told you before. In Korea, we have the official Korean, which is closest to the accent that most of people in Seoul have. And I was wondering if the UK also designated a one, official language. I mean, certain accent is an official language.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't know if it's official or anything. We don't think of it that way. But I guess RP is the representative accent because the Queen speaks, she spoke with the RP accent.
Can I consider a RP accent as a standard accent in the UK?
So. Yeah.
No, there was a fun part in the video. I learned that one of the accents in the UK doesn't pronounce T sound.
Okay.
And one of the hosts in that video, mimicked this accent by saying, instead of saying water, he said water. And instead of saying better, he said better. Does it happen commonly?
Sure. Many
Really?
people that would say like that.
How do you pronounce water for yourself?
For me,
Just
water.
Water. Does this rule apply to every word? So let's say if I have to pronounce, what could be the example? let's say Tottenham. If someone has this accent, then would he or she pronounce Tottenham?
Tottenham, probably. You can't not pronounce T sounds from the beginning of a word, right?
Okay.
You would say tot for the first sound, but maybe the Tottenham would be different. The emphasis maybe is on different parts. I don't really know, to be honest. Which accent was it, out of curiosity?
Okay,
Do you know?
No.
Don't know which one it
They didn't mention it specifically. This is another question. Is it plausible that two British people meet together and then it turns out they're from different regions that have totally different accents? And it is plausible that two guys might have trouble in understanding each other, because it really happened quite recently. I went to a Suncheon, my wife's hometown, where people there have quite different accents from the way I speak here. For information, I was born and raised in Seoul, and then I visited her grandmother, who has very strong Suncheon accent, and every time she talks, I was like, oh my God, another Korean listening test begins again.
Right.
So very hard to understand. How do you feel about the imaginary situation that you guys
I'm sure it's possible, for sure.
Have you ever experienced that?
I have, where I believe she was from Liverpool, and we were in a busy place and it was noisy as well, but like it was very hard for me to catch what she was saying.
Is Liverpool part of the London? Is it correct?
Liverpool? No, Liverpool is a big city in the north of the country, close to
very
Manchester.
ignorant. Last night, I watched one of our videos with my wife. My wife scolded me because I didn't know what Barrow Market and what was the other market. Barrow Market, and you mentioned
Maybe
the other
Camden.
It turns out both of the markets are very famous. So much so that my wife is already aware of what those are, and I don't know what those are. So
It's harsh though to scold you for that. You don't claim to be an expert on British geography or anything like that. So
she kind of looked down on me. Oh my God.
There are many things about Korea though. When I say I don't know them, Korean people look at me like, how have you never? No worries.
Okay.